This is Dr. V, and it's been a hard night. I woke up this morning and I have this problem on the last video about the timer, which you see here. I couldn't quite figure out how the timer was controlled by the time, which is critical if you're going to be a timer. And I thought about it. This is 2 days later, but sometimes I would put the problem away. When you have a problem, don't be afraid to think about it, put it down, walk away, and carry on a normal life. So this morning I woke up and I had an idea. So I had my coffee. We will look back at this, and since the circuit that we described did not turn on and off with this switch in the timer on position, I decided the circuit was complete. It was something else. And as I said during the first video, every piece has a purpose. And I looked at this piece right here. I'll take it out. And I understand the purpose of this part over here, but here this piece sticks up. They didn't design it that way because they had some spare plastic they wanted to get rid of. They designed it that way so that it would work. So I started thinking along the lines of this piece right here, and then I remembered that this hole, I understood, it's for the motor. But this hole I don't understand, and when I look through it I can see these gray pieces, and I'll just lift these gray pieces out on this side. If the gray pieces are absent, as they are now, then this piece is down. If the gray pieces come along and push it to the side, it pushes this down in this position, and the circuit is now closed for the 2 outlets. Then when new pieces disappear, move up. So here my gray pieces are down, it pushes it aside, the circuit is closed. If I move this around, then the pieces either are present or disappear. So electronically, the circuit is either on or off. Mechanically, this piece up here, this flange that reaches up into this hole, and that is how this particular switch works. It's a combination of electronics and mechanicals. How good is the mechanicals here? This piece failed because the motor was giving some sounds that someone in my household did not like. So one of the lessons I want you to take is when you take it apart, you're going to discover additional mysteries. When you discover additional mysteries, you don't have to solve them immediately, or you can rely on some of your background. The more things you take apart, you understand why this resistor is in line with the motor. It's so that the motor can go continuously but does not get too much electricity, too high a force of electricity moving the motor, or else it would burn out. The 120 outlets do not need this resistor. The system switch works 2 ways. It's either on continuously when I have a load on these switches, or it is off, but when the timer pushes this aside, it's now on again for some fraction here of the time. This is Dr. B, encouraging you to get permission to take a few things apart that are broken, find out why they are not working. Start off simple with some simple gadgets around the house that you have permission to take apart, and then graduate to things that are more complicated that will have pieces that you don't recognize. You may not recognize initially that switch, but if you see one of these switches, you'll have the experience with it. Thank you for watching this edition of STEM Sherpa channel. I would appreciate it if you would look at some of our other videos that turn magic into science, or reverse engineering, for example. Thank you.